Hey, what's up? So, the NFL Honors was a few days ago, I believe 2 or 3 at the time of recording this video. And there's a bit of controversy going around, as there is every single year, because some players won some awards that a lot of people think were not earned necessarily. Well, they were earned, but they didn't think they were better than other players. So, this video I'm just going to talk about a few that come to my mind. To start off, Offensive Rookie of the Year. There was really only two people I really had in mind for winning this, and that was, of course, Jaden Daniels and Brock Bowers. And I know Brock Bowers had one of the best tight end receiving seasons of all time, and he's only a rookie. But I still think Jaden Daniels really, really did deserve this award. Brock Bowers will probably progress to be one of the best tight ends ever if he keeps playing like he did this year. This year was an amazing year, but in my eyes, for the Raiders, they have Jakobi Meyers in him. So he is going to get force-fed that ball because, for one, he is a monster. He's a good player, but he's one of the only receivers they have. So him and Jakobi Meyers are just going to get force-fed that ball. So, of course, his stats are going to look great. Now, I might eat my words the next few years, and he might just become good on other teams, and he's just going to be a monster, and it's not just because he's playing for the Raiders and he's stat padding. But to be a rookie quarterback and go all the way to the NFC Championship with a franchise that had a losing record last year, and to come out and have an 11-6 season at that, and beat some amazing teams, beat the Lions in the divisional. Even though the Lions had a bunch of injured players, they still put the whooping on the Lions. Like, Jaden Daniels was an amazing quarterback this year and had one of the best rookie seasons a quarterback can have. So I believe personally he is the Offensive Rookie of the Year. He was my number one and Brock Bowers was number two. They were pretty close. Either way, I would have been happy with either one of them winning it, but those two were definitely my top two winning it. So this one doesn't bother me that much. I don't think people should be upset. Jaden Daniels had a heck of a year. So now this one, Joe Burrow wins Comeback Player of the Year. I don't really know how I feel about this one. I feel like Joe Burrow played good, then didn't play good, then played good, then didn't play good. Like, he wasn't really just horrible, and then halfway through he started becoming good. He was good throughout the whole year. What really set him back was his defense. That was the reason that they sucked this year. No quarterback has put up 35-plus games 4 times and lost that in all those 4 games. Like, as a quarterback, you should not be able to throw for 3 or 4 touchdowns and still lose a game with like 300 yards. Your defense should be able to hold it down and win that game for you. So, I personally don't believe Joe Burrow should have been the Comeback Player of the Year. I actually think he should have been nominated for MVP, and we'll talk about that later when I get to it, but I don't think he should have won Comeback Player of the Year. Once again, this award is not as big as many others, but my personal pick, it's kind of a sleeper pick, but I think Bryce Young should have won it. He started off the year as the second string, basically. He played 1 game and he became the second string. And then to come back and have an impact on the Panthers as much as he did, he was playing really good football. Yes, he still has a lot to fix, but he looked like a franchise quarterback and looked like what the Panthers need to move on to be a great franchise again for those 2 years that they were. So I think Bryce Young should have definitely won this. He may not have the best stats or whatever, but I really liked Bryce Young winning this. I'm glad Damar Hamlin didn't win this. He was nominated, I believe, in the top 4 or whatever, top 5. He didn't do anything. Like, last year he won it, or the year before, I mean, or whenever he did, when he died on the field and came back. That's all right. Like, that's cool. That's a good story to have. I mean, he's not the best player, but to die on the field and come back and play again and want to play, that deserves Comeback Player of the Year. But for him to be nominated this year, like, he didn't do anything. So I don't know. I don't think Joe Burrow should have won it. I'm not too upset with it because Joe Burrow had a heck of a season and he deserves some type of award because he had the most passing yards and passing touchdowns out of any quarterback, and they didn't even make it to the playoffs. They barely had a winning record. So yeah, I mean, it's all right. Like, it's whatever. Now this one's one of the ones that kind of threw me for a loop here. Kevin O'Connell, he won Coach of the Year. The Vikings did have a 14-3 record. I mean, they went from a losing record to a 14-3 record. That is cool, but I don't think it beats Dan Campbell at all, or even the Commanders coach. Like, Jaden Daniels had a big impact on that team, but so did Dan Quinn. I believe that's his name. Sorry if I'm blanking on his name. I can't think of it, but he looks like a miniature Dan Campbell. He's bald and always goes for fourth downs like they're the same coach. But both of those coaches should have been Coach of the Year. I don't believe Kevin O'Connell. He definitely could have been third or fourth on the list, but I don't think Kevin O'Connell deserved it. I mean, yes, they all deserved it, but I don't think he deserved it more than Dan Campbell, who brought a losing franchise for the longest time to go from a 9-8 season then 2 playoff appearances in a row. Yes, they threw in the playoffs, but they were missing half their team. And for him to have that impact on a team, deserves it. And for the Washington Commanders to be so bad and then all of a sudden this year make a deep playoff run and become some Super Bowl favorites. Like, if they were to beat the Eagles, I guarantee they go into the Super Bowl being the favorites and the Chiefs are the underdogs because they've looked good until that NFC Championship game. But yeah, I don't think Kevin O'Connell should have won this. He definitely should have come third or fourth, but he definitely shouldn't have won this. Definitely Dan Campbell. Yeah. This one also, it doesn't really affect me that much. Andy Reid was nominated too, but I really don't think he should have been nominated. Like, he just has done the same thing he's done every single year. I mean, I guess that is Coach of the Year for having a 15-2 team, but we're used to that from Andy Reid. Like, I get awards, like, if somebody's so good for so many years, they shouldn't be nominated for an award. That's not how it works, but Andy Reid, he went 15-2, but that's just what he does. So, but Kevin O'Connell definitely shouldn't have won this award. I believe there's other better candidates in this. Now, this one, I'm glad he won an award, but we're going to talk about it in the MVP. I don't think they should have stopped him at Offensive Player of the Year. He definitely was the Offensive Player of the Year. We'll put it at that. Like, nobody was doing what he was doing. Like, watching the NFC Championship game and talking to my dad, I'm like, watch him get a touchdown the first time he touches the ball as a joke, and then he does that. Like, I went crazy. I looked at him, and I'm like, what the heck? I would have never guessed that would have actually happened, but he did. And then he took out, like, 3 defenders. He spun around 2 of them, and he was shedding a few more. Like, Saquon Barkley had an amazing season, and I kind of wish they played him that last game. I know they wanted to save him from injuries, but I wish they would have played him that last game to give him that record because he had less attempts than the leading rusher ever. Like, he had less attempts, so they should have just let him get it. He wasn't that far off. He was like 100 yards or so, not even that. So, but yeah, he definitely deserved this award, and in my opinion, I think he deserved MVP. Josh Allen was my QB to win the QB award or the MVP award. Lamar Jackson had amazing stats. Like, this is probably his best year ever, but most valuable player is what MVP means, not best stats. And in my opinion, you can't put another quarterback on the Bills and have the success that Josh Allen had. I don't really believe you can put many quarterbacks on the Ravens and do good, but Derrick Henry was an amazing rusher and had an amazing year. So even if Lamar Jackson doesn't put up some of them stats, Derrick Henry's stats goes up while his goes down because Derrick Henry's on that team. Josh Allen had a few good players. Like, Cook had an amazing year. He came out of nowhere, and he looks like he's going to be a good running back. But still, I don't believe anybody could do what he did. But that being said, I don't believe anybody can do what Saquon Barkley did this year. Yes, he may have had one of the best O-lines in the league, but still, if you really watch when he plays, he sheds like 3 or 4 defenders on average each run. Like, he just runs through them or sheds them off or spin moves them or hurdles them or anything. He gets through the defenders. It's not the O-line doing that. It's him. So I personally believe Saquon Barkley should have won this award. Like, just being able to look at my dad and be like, oh, if he touches the ball, he's gonna score a touchdown, and then he does. Like, I don't remember the last time I was thinking a player would be that good. It was like watching a Madden, game. They just hand it off to him and he just runs for 80 yards. But yeah, NFL honors was all right. There's a few awards that meh. All the defensive awards I kind of liked. Like Jared Verse had an amazing year. He's one of the highest rated Madden players in the league as a rookie. He's like 87 or 88 as a rookie, which is insane. He definitely deserved that award. But yeah, I think Saquon Barkley should have won the MVP. He definitely earned it. Josh Allen earned it too. I'm glad he won it, but Saquon Barkley should have won it. So yeah, see ya.